Hello everyone. This is my first video for, especially for Patreon, Patreon subscribers, especially for you. So in this video, I will try to share with you my vision, how I will try to develop my Patreon channel, and I will also answer on few questions that I received from you. So I hope you will find it interesting. But first of all, let me wish you a nice day, a nice weekend. Today is 26th of February, Sunday, so I hope you will have a nice day today. And yes, now 15 to 11 in the morning. You may not, you know, see it because it's kind of dark in the room, but it's 15 to 11 in the morning. It's a rainy day. It's funny to see, man. It's snow everywhere, and now because temperature is around +1, it's raining and snow is melting, and you can imagine picture what is happening outside. So yes, when it comes to future development of Patreon channel, Patreon page, I think I will try it to at least once a week, especially for Patreon. I will go to Moscow city center in historic places, and I will share video information about some historical institutions, cultural institutions, including. And probably that's going to be interesting. And I will also share, I will show you buildings, streets, I mean, like everyday life. Everyday life. And I will make videos. I will try at least to make videos in style of Alex Cristoforo. You, I'm sure, familiar with his great work. When I will just walk around street and share video information about topics that we will choose beforehand. And yes, I mean, probably that's gonna be interesting. Also, I will listen to your suggestions, and you know I will try to make some interesting content from that. And yes, and questions and answers. I mean, we can use Q&A to create some even more content. I may share also some publications. I may start writing again, especially if I find job in journalism. And I hope I will find job soon, because I'm getting a little bit nervous lately, because as you know, I did left my work on 12th of January previous month, and I did had a plan, and that plan did work at some sense, because I was thinking, you know what, let me devote time until March to my YouTube channel and try to create something out of it. And you know, if people likes my content, and if subscriber numbers will grow, then I may have some income from YouTube, and I may work for YouTube, and I may become creator on YouTube, which will be nice, of course, because I will do what I like, and same time I will earn some money to provide my family. That was the idea, and it did work at least partially, because when I left Leroy Merlin, that's a French company that I used to work for. When I left Leroy Merlin, I had around 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube. Now my YouTube channel has 5,100 subscribers, a little bit more. So in that sense, yes, I did make successful first steps. Then I did try to monetize. I did ask my relatives in Georgia, and Magda, her name is Magda. She made for me under her name, because I cannot make on my name, because there's no point on it. PayPal is not working in Russia, so she made PayPal wallet, but especially for my channel. She will operate that wallet, and if any donations, then she will just transfer that money to Russia. It's possible to transfer money from Russia to Georgia, or from Georgia to Russia, and yes, I did receive some donations. Magda create for me PayPal. I did spoke about it in my video, and I did receive some donations. I was very happy because I had hope that my plan will work, and it does works. Basically, I mean, I did receive some donations on PayPal. Then I make Patreon like few days ago, and you did subscribe on my Patreon channel, and thank you very much for this. And Patreon is crucial, because if PayPal, I mean, from PayPal, I mean, anyone can donate 1, 5, 3, or 10, or whatever amount he or she wants to donate and can to donate. But that's, as I understand, one-time donation and support, which is great, of course, and I'm very grateful. But it does not give me information about about my budget. When Patreon is different, this is a monthly subscription, and it does give you that additional information that will help you to plan your daily spendings, and this is very important. So yes, in some sense, my plan did work, and I hope I will have more subscribers on Patreon, so I will be more free to devote more time to create content on internet. At same time, it's obvious now that I have to looking for a job, because I cannot provide my family right now just on basis of donations. It's just impossible. I'm only for this flat paying like 35,000 rubles around. It depends on how many electricity or water we will spend, but it depends on utility bills. But in general, it's around 35,000 rubles, which is $500 approximately a month. And then that's only for flat, and then you need money for food, and you need money for transportation. You need money to to make sure that kids have everything they need, so that they are happy. That's main goal for all of us, to make sure that kids are safe and happy. And yes, I have to. I will definitely try to increase my reach, to reach wider audience, and if I have more subscribers, then more chances are that people that can support my channel and my work will percentage of that people, those people will rise. But I do understand life is hard everywhere, man, nowadays, and it's not everyone can allow itself to donate even like $3 or $5. I do understand this absolutely, and that's why I'm so grateful that I have your support, and I have support of those people that donate on PayPal. But yes, I have to find a job, and my idea is to. I don't tell me what you think about it. My idea is to, because my content is on English. I'm gonna try to apply for a job on RT, Russia Today. My English is not that good to work on the TV, and I'm not TV journalist anyway. But they have also website, and I can write for website, for example, or any job really on RT will do. That's that will be first step to find my way to go back to my profession, which is journalism. But I'm a writer journalist, and even though once I was head of news department on one TV station in Georgia. Me personally, I never worked with camera. I never worked live in studio. That's not mine. I do like to write, and but that's why I'm saying that if I find a job in RT, that will be just great. And because I have channel now on YouTube with 5,000 subscribers, which is I do understand that my channel is small in comparison to like huge channels like Alex Christoforou has, or Alexander Mercuris, or New Atlas that you run. But still 5,000 subscribers, when we are talking about channel about news and politics, 5,000 subscribers, it's for me it's great achievement really. So I hope this will play some role, and RT will give me some job, and that's why it's so crucial for me to have some income from my internet activity, because RT may not give me a full-time job. They may say, no, what, we don't have a vacancy right now, but we can give you a part-time job. How you say it in English, man? When you work for honorars, like you will receive payment for whatever you do, whatever material you will prepare, but you will don't have fixed wage every month. And if I had some income from if I will have some income from my activity on internet, then I may be able to take that kind of offer from RT, for example, if it comes to this. So I don't know. Let's see, man. But that's the first step that I want to take. I want apply on RT. If it works, good. If not, then I will try a few more media outlets. And if they refuse to give me a job, then I will start looking for any job, just any job to I have to provide my family, and my savings are like almost so I don't really have choice. And the only point is, and it's all good, it's all good. At least I will know that I tried to go back to journalism and I didn't work out. And yes, what you can do, me. At least I will have my YouTube channel. Only point is that if I find job in journalism, it's okay. I will be able to make updates on my YouTube channel every day from my workplace, for example. Why not? But if I have to find job in some other areas, then I mean, like when I was working for Leroy Merlin, I was just unable to make videos on daily basis because I was too tired, man. I was trying, but if you go and see my old videos, I mean, you can see sometimes, I'm just almost sleeping, and I was seeing comments, are you drunk, man? No, man, I just come from work and I spend on the work. When I was going to work and before I come to work, it was like 14 hours daily. So I was working now 9 hours. Sometimes I was doing overtime because to just make little more money for family. And once I was at home, I was so tired, man, so tired that it was, But yes, I will try. I cannot see future. I don't know what will happen. But if RT will give me a job, that will be of course great. That will be of course great. Huh? But yet again, let's see. Let's see now. Now, if I may, I will answer a few questions that I received from you. So, what some ideas for Patreon? Anything about life in Moscow for average Russians, especially how they treat children and families compared to the West. Well, I can talk about my life in this sense. What approach I have when we raising kids, and I may talk in general also, but what I can say is that in my understanding, I used to live in England for years, so I have some little bit more than maybe. So I have some idea how in Western societies things are done. Also, of course, I'm reading all the time and watching news and listening, and so I do have some idea what is happening in the West and how situation in Russia. When it comes to, for example, kids, I think here parents in general are more conservative than in Western states. So kids are not receiving too much freedom that they cannot cope with, because freedom is also responsibility, and every age, that's my opinion, I'm sharing with you my opinion now, and every age in my understanding enables you to cope with some level of responsibility. So my approach is to give kids as much freedom as they are able to cope with, and I think it does work. My older daughter, she is a teenager now, and she's doing okay in school. She has some good grades. Of course, teenager age, you know how it is, man. That they have uh, changes in mood, and they want to revolt, and we all know this. But still, because that was my approach, to give them freedom, so much freedom that they can cope with, we are not we don't have a we are not really nervous. I mean, me and my wife, about our kids, because they are serious, they are responsible, they have as much freedom as they want, really. And but that's my approach. Other families may have some different approach, but in general, families and society itself is more conservative. That, for example, in USA, where in my understanding, in democratic states, and in families that are under influence of those ideology of neoliberals, I mean, when I read some information what is happening there, I'm shocked, man. It's just they are allowing kids to decide who they are. I mean, like, to decide what gender they are, and in some states, as I understand, they are giving kids some steroids, and they are influencing kids from medical standpoint, and that's craziness, man. That's absolutely craziness. If anyone does that kind of stuff here, that parents will lose parentship, and they will end up in jail. Uh, that's simple as that. They will just end up in jail, man, because this is crazy. What is happening in some states of USA, for example. So you're not gonna see that kind of stuff here. It's just impossible, man. Impossible. Kids have freedom, but my approach is to give them as much freedom as they can cope with, because with freedom comes responsibility, and they are learning from very beginning to be responsible. And I think that's the right approach, because if you are too conservative, you may ruin your relationships with kids, and I don't think that's a good approach. Contrary, give them freedom, but at the same time teach them responsibility, so that they are getting ready for adult life in a better way. you know so yes, I mean, when it comes to some general ideas, general situation, we are more conservative, but at the same time, it's now we call it conservatism, because neoliberals making such a crazy moves, so-called neoliberals, that everyone normal is now conservative, isn't it? I used to take myself as a left liberal. It was some time when I was thinking, you know what, I'm left liberal, because my ideas about certain things, it was lefty ideas. For example, education has to be free, in my understanding. State should provide education. I also think that healthcare has to be free, because we do pay enough taxes, man. All of us pay enough taxes in all countries, so that with good management of government, education and healthcare possible to be free, and that's how it's supposed to be done. That's my understanding. Same time, you can have private schools, you can have private medical institutions, so that whoever wants to pay, let them have that choice. Why not? Because I'm also for free economy, free market. So, but these ideas are lefty ideas, and I'm sure there's supposed to be no homeless people. If something happened and citizen end up in difficult situation, state should always give a hand of help to citizen. And that's why I think there should be social housing and support from state to low income, not just citizens, but even low income families. And these kind of elements definitely are in Russia. Not as as I like to be. I want state to provide more support for citizens. But Russia is, in that sense, Russia is a socialist country, we can say, with crazy free economy and free market, but still there is state institutions that are providing assistance to citizens, which is good, and that's lefty ideas, right? But, and I'm also for freedom of speech, for basic human rights, and the rest of it, which is also, we can say that right flank of this ideological divide is also for freedom and human rights, and that's true, really. But then, after time, there is a say that when we are young, we all are leftists and liberals, but when we grow up, we becoming conservatives and traditionalists, and it seems like, yes, that's kind of true, because after time, right now I'm how should I describe myself from ideological standpoint? There is anything like left libertarians. Libertarians are on the right flank, right? But I do like some ideas from libertarians because they are also for freedoms, and I like that. So yes, I mean, I forget what why I start talking about this topic, but yes, something about me, you know, some additional information. So now, yes, I'm probably, I don't know, left libertarian or conservative. I'm traditionalist, that's for sure. And traditionalists usually are on the right side. But I do believe lefts, proper lefts, Ben, because nowadays it's even kind of shameful to say that you are liberal because of those neoliberals, because of that craziness that they are doing, man. But yeah, I mean, you know, when it comes to life in general, as I said, life for low and middle income families is quite difficult, like everywhere, really. I think in Europe, low and middle income households also are struggling time to time, and you are living from paycheck to paycheck, and that's how life goes, really. And same in Russia. You know, when I was right now, I'm basically unemployed. You are my employees, you know, subscribers, but I don't have a job in traditional sense, and I hope I will find in March job. I have to. But when I was working for Leroy, for example, I had a middle wage, average wage for this region. Uh, if I was doing overtimes and I was trying to do overtimes, I may get after taxes, I may had around 60,000 rubles, maybe a little more, which is at the time was $1,000, around $1,000. Now it's even less because now exchange rate is 74, 75 for $1. So that's average salary in this region, and that's what I had, and that was not enough, man. We were, struggling. I mean, from paycheck to paycheck, and I mean, it's as I said, man, life for low income and middle income households are difficult, quite difficult. I mean, because you are living from paycheck to paycheck, and it's hard to have any savings. But I mean, if life was like that like 3 years ago, also, and because of, for example, sanctions and stuff, I cannot say that these sanctions very much influence our life. No, man, life is still exactly the same. Exactly the same. I mean, I cannot say you what has changed really because of that sanctions. At least for this moment, you know, life was not easy before sanctions. Life is not easy now, and I think it's the same in every other countries. Difference is probably that yes, in Western Europe, Western European countries and the USA, middle income families may be little better off. I hope so, at least, because I hope people live good life everywhere. But when it comes to rest of the world, when like no, life is quite hard. So yes, that's why I'm getting nervous now because my savings are like I can I have enough money for next month for March. But and maybe I can deal with April, and that's why I have to find a job in March so that we will have some steps, something to live, and yeah, and I hope I hope there will be more subscribers on Patreon, uh, on my main channel and on Patreon, and I will be able to continue working on YouTube. And even if, for example, if I had like 100 subscribers on Patreon who will be able to pay, let's say, $5 a month, that's a $500. That's, you know, that you at least have $500, and you know you are working and making, let's say, $1,000 a month, and you know you have something to provide your family, you know, and this is huge help, of course. But now on Patreon I only have 6 subscribers. It's 6 of you for now, and thank you very much. I mean, you are giving me hope that I may, you know, achieve something. So thank you very much. I've been too honest probably, but you know, I don't want to have some boundaries here on Patreon. I will use this platform just to talk with you, just to communicate as freely as it's possible, like friends, you know, like we know each other for a million years. So yes, what else, man? What else? So anything you may not want to talk about on YouTube? There's so many things that I don't talk on YouTube, but that's probably for next times. You know, I will become more and more active on Patreon. Uh, and the question about do Russian people are aware of globalist plans through web and influence they have, especially in the West. Yes, there are some. I will not say that mainstream media is paying too much attention on globalist agenda, and I will not say that majority of Russian society really cares about globalists, and I'll tell you why. Because of all this confrontation between Western elites and Russia, majority of Russian citizens, in my understanding, just taking as enemies entire Western elite, globalists, non-globalists, just all of them, with very few exceptions. So, in that sense, society here, even maybe even not realizing that, are cautious towards Western elites and ideas that are coming from the West. But when it comes to policies and what mainstream media is talking about, they are mainstream media is propaganda tools basically, and they will use, for example, World Economic Forum, let's say, and any statements or any agenda that will be, you know, promoted by the web media outlets, main media outlets will use that stuff just in purpose of their goals, just to make sure that they will achieve propaganda goals that they have. And as I understand, all the Russian media outlets, main ones, especially TV stations, there is a group in administration of president who is basically in charge of Russian state media, and they are influencing which direction will this propaganda go. So you will of course, Russian media is all against Western elites, all 24/7. That's, you know, 100%. But same time, you may not see that much criticism of, for example, ideas globalists have. You know, there is criticism in general about Western elites, but when it comes to specifics, There are some nuances there because uh, many representatives of so-called elites here in Russia, of course, they have ties with Western elites, man. Of course, they many of them on a day on every year was going to Davos, for example, isn't it? They were regulars there, and they have ties with Western elites, and publicly they may talk about each other anything just to keep this agenda that we are in conflict and we are fighting. But what is happening behind the scenes, it may be very different. Let me say this way, and I have reasons to believe that uh, Western elites do have a huge influence on Russian elite. Let's say this way. But when it comes to society, man, society is too busy with everyday life, really, and they can receive information about some specifics only from independent channels, independent small or big channels, and you know, me, I don't do content in Russian language. I do only in English. So when we, check, we can right now check this, man. If it's interesting for you, I'll show you YouTube analytics. I'll show you YouTube analytics, and only 5-6% of viewers are from Russia. So if I remember correctly, let's say it together. So where is the? Yes, just look at it, man. Even less, even less. So majority of viewers are from United States, then United Kingdom, then Canada, Australia, Germany, and only then Russia, 3.2%. So some citizens of Russia may receive information from my channel about some specific information. Same globalists, for example. But only a few, because mainly my subscribers and viewers are from outside of Russia. So yes, life is, majority of society probably too busy with everyday life, and they don't really pay too much attention on to globalist agenda. That topic is very active in the West because you have many different independent channels that are working on this matter because they see dangers that are coming from globalists. But in Russia, as I said, there is not that many independent channels really, and that's why society probably not that informed about this topic. But yet again, I can be wrong because I don't have statistics or any numbers that I can, you know, use for this. So I hope I did give you answer. This video is already 39 minutes, so I have to finish now and start making today's update. So yet again, thank you very much for your subscription. It does truly means a lot to me, and you know this. Thank you for your time, attention, and as I said in the beginning, I will definitely try to make some interesting content for Patreon subscribers too, so we can build community here too. Thank you very much once again. Have a nice day and take care.